Hello everybody, this is Jeremy Moskowitz, Group Policy MVP and founder of PolicyPak software. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to do an update of an existing pack. So for example, let's say you had a pack, in this case it happens to be flash settings, and turns out there's a bug in the pack. Either there's a bug there's a bug in a pack that you created, or there's a bug in a pack that we created. If there's a bug or some other update of the pack, no big deal. Let's explain what's going on underneath the hood so you can fix it and update it. So first and foremost, let's say you were editing this group policy object, and this is the old version, the one that you've already got in place. If you go to PolicyPak applications here, for instance, if I go to user, the bug in this particular pack happens to be here under advanced. And we've already got this thing selected to. Never check for updates. Not recommended. Fine. So we've already got it set to this setting, but that's the setting with the bug. So what does that mean? What do we have to do? So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and close this out, and we're going to update our pack. So remember, there's two locations that a pack DLL can be stored in. One of them is called local storage, and that lives under program files, PolicyPak extensions. The other place is going to be the central store. So no matter where your extension lives, that's what you're going to fix. So for instance, let's go back, to flash settings. If we look again, here it says this guy is being pulled from local storage. Now I recommend that most organizations use the central store, but in this example I happen to be using local storage. So the point is that this DLL has got the bug. The one that I've already got in place, the one you're already using, has the bug. So what are we going to do? Well, we've got to, let's say there's an update available, or you make your own pack and you fix it. What do you do next? So it's very simple what you do next. What you're going to do is, let me go ahead and, you can't see what I'm about to do here. I'm going to drag and drop my latest, greatest flash here. So in other words, let's say you get a patch from us or you update it yourself. What's in here really? Well, remember, PolicyPak packs are really two things. There's the DLLs and there's the XMLs. And really all we care to do is update the DLL. So let's say there's a couple of updates here. All right, and we go ahead and we'll just copy those in. We'll replace the old ones with the new ones. And you can see I've got the latest, greatest file dates there. Let's go back in. And now let's re-edit that same group policy object. Go back to PolicyPak applications, and look what happens immediately. We note inside the MMC that there's a newer version, there's a newer DLL that you just put in local storage. Now when you double click, it actually says, hey, wait a second, do we want to do this? And the reason why it's asking you this is, if you think about it, when we updated the pack, a couple of things could have occurred. The first thing that could have occurred is that we could have added a bunch of cool new features, or we could have added 12 checkboxes, or we could have added a bunch of things, and that's fine. Now, in that case, it's a no-brainer. Of course, you would say that you wanted to continue. Now, the other side of the coin is, let's say we deleted a whole tab, or we got rid of a bunch of settings, or we changed the wording around of a bunch of things. Now, in that case, if we continue onward, what happens is that those settings that no longer exist in the original group policy object are going to be obliterated. Like, let me say that again. If there's a tab that you delete and all those settings are in the tab, well, they're all going to be gone because they don't exist anymore in the configuration pack in the first place. So and I do cover this in excruciating detail in the manual. I do really want you to read that, but this is a quick and dirty example of what of how to do an update. Now, if you read the wording here, it says, "Do you wish to select a different DLL?" If you select yes, you're kind of saying no. Let me say it again. If you click on here and you say yes, you're actually saying that you don't want to continue. We did that by design. The idea is that we want to make sure that you really knew what you were doing here to update an old version to a new version. Again, I do cover this in the manual. So the point of the story here is when you copy in the latest, greatest DLL file, you actually click no here. And by saying no, you're committing to saying yes. I know the wording seems a little weird, but the point of the story is by saying no, that you don't want to select another DLL, that you are saying yes, the one that you've selected is okay. So if you go back to, where was it? Here we go, advanced. Now all your settings are still there if the pack doesn't really have any major changes. Like I didn't delete the advanced tab, I just added a new setting here under never check for updates. So all you need, you don't even have to make any settings changes, you just have to click OK. Now I want you to watch what happens when I click OK. Right here where it says local storage newer, when I click OK it will. Boom. That is now the latest version. You've now updated that pack from the previous version to the latest version. So when you're doing your testing, and if we do tell you that there's an update in a particular pack, like there is an update here in Flash, then this is the procedure. Step 1, update your DLLs, either in the local or central store. Step 2, find the group policy objects that have the settings, that have the packs that you're using. Go in there, you'll see that it tells you that there's a newer version. You'll double click it, you'll say no, which is giving approval to go ahead and go into the group policy object. You don't have to make any changes, you just click OK and you're good. At this point now, what's happened is that the bug that was in that little definition of that particular setting is now updated and you're good to go. All right, so that is in fact how you update a pack from an older DLL to a newer DLL, either the ones that you create or the ones that we create. All right, I hope that makes sense, and if you have any questions, we're here for you. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.